which is helping Tommy Bridewell make a little bit of a break at the front, but Kyle Ryde's there in fourth, like a shark at the minute, and his first victim is probably going to be Glenn Irwin, sorry. Then he'll be looking to dispatch of Andy Irwin on the Duke, and will he be able to get his claws into Tommy Bridewell at the front? He wasn't able to do it in the race 2, you know, the shorter race. They were both swapping places several times, Tommy Bridewell and Kyle Ryde. But it was Tommy Bridewell who managed to pull away on the final lap, giving him victory. As we're on lap 5, Ryan Vickers is currently in 5th place behind his teammate Kyle Ryde. So he'll be hoping that Kyle can make a few moves forward. Ryan Vickers will probably come in behind him and be a little bit of a tail gunner. And hopefully let Kyle and Tommy battle it out at the front. But then obviously, if Kyle Ryde can get in front of Tommy Bridewell, then if Ryan Vickers can put himself in between Tommy and Kyle, that'd be enough for Kyle Ryde to take the championship in his first ever BSB title. So many permutations, really. Kyle Ryde's there having a look at Andy Irwin. Can't get through at Sterling, though. But yeah, that first BSB race from today, which is the second race of the meeting, Tommy Bridewell and Kyle Ryde were both having a go at each other. All fair. But there was, like I said, there was several overtakes. I think it was a 12-lap race, that one. This one's a 20-lap race. But as we go around Druids there, it's still Tommy Bridewell with Glenn Irwin in second, Andy Irwin in third, Kyle Ryde in fourth, Ryan Vickers in fifth behind his teammate. You've also got Danny Kent there. I don't think Danny Kent's going to try and get involved in this final race of the BSB season. I know they're all racers and they all want to win, but the last thing you want to be doing is going knocking one of the title protagonists off. Because it'll be a long good winter where you'd have that over your head. Although once the racing starts, it can do funny things once that visor goes down. So as it stands now, Tommy Bridewell is 10 points ahead of Kyle Ryde. There's also a slightly different scoring method for this final meeting. I think the winner gets 35 points as opposed to the usual 25, and then it goes all the way down to 15th place getting 1 point. It's slightly different here at Brands Hatch for this final meeting. So at the front now, it's changed. Glenn Irwin's taken P1 from Tommy Bridewell. Andy Irwin is in P3. Kyle Ryde's still in P4. Ryan Vickers, Kyle Ryde's teammate, he's in 5th with Danny Kent in 6th. Max Cook's in 7th. Leon Haslam 8th. Josh Brooks 9th. Spud Nesbitt, he's in 10th. But the ideal thing would be, from a racing point of view and from a championship point of view, if Bridewell can get back in the lead, Kyle Ryde can get rid of Glenn and Andy Irwin, and the two title protagonists, as Kyle Ryde there just makes a move on Andy Irwin, makes it stake. Yes, he does. So he moves up into P3 now, so he's right behind Tommy Bridewell. It's just Glenn Irwin who's out front. What we need, we need Tommy Bridewell and Kyle Ryde to dispatch the Irwin brothers, and then let them duke it out at the front. Winner takes all. Oh, what's Tommy Bridewell done there? Going through clearways. Something's gone amiss there. And there's something gone amiss there with Kyle Ryde as well, because he's just lost a place Ooh, and he's taking it back as Kyle Ryde back past Andy Irwin. There was something went amiss there with both Kyle Ryde and Tommy Bridewell. No, he didn't. He got a bit of a tank slapper there going through clearways, did Tommy Bridewell, and had to throttle off. He was drifting wide, and he was drifting to where Glenn Irwin was, which is why he had to just shut the power off. And I think that upset Andy Irwin and Kyle Ryde, who were behind. Something's happened to Andy Irwin now. He's dropped down to 7th, so we've got throw a handkerchief over all three of them. Glenn Irwin. Now Kyle Ryde has just taken Tommy Bridewell. So it's Irwin, Ryde, Bridewell, Danny Kent in 4th, Max Cook in 5th, and Ryan Vickers. Andy Irwin's dropped down to 7th, so I don't know what happened there. So as we go over the start-finish line at the end of lap 8, it's Kyle Ryde in P1. He just cuts under Glenn Irwin. Irwin's trying to come. Blimey, Irwin goes around the outside of Glenn Irwin. So we've now got what I was just saying previously that we wanted. Duke it out, boys. Winner, take it all. We've got Kyle Ryde at the front, Tommy Bridewell in P2, Glenn Irwin in P3. And as things stand, if it stays like this, Kyle Ryde wins the BSB Championship by 1 point. Oh my word, what is Glenn Irwin doing? He's just gone under Tommy Bridewell there and they've touched. Now he's having a look to see if Tommy's coming back underneath him. And why that's happened, it's allowed Kyle Ryde to get 10, 12 bike lengths in the lead. I know Glenn Irwin wants to win this race probably, but do you really? Tommy Bridewell gets underneath Glenn Irwin there, but why he's been messing about with Glenn Irwin, it's allowed Kyle Ryde to get a decent lead there now, and Bridewell is having to battle with Glenn Irwin. And why they're doing that, it's now allowed Danny Kent to get right on the back of Glenn Irwin. Max Cook's there, Ryan Vickers is there. Blimey, O'Reilly. They actually touched. They ran into each other there. Irwin came across and almost took the handlebar of Tommy Bridewell. Bit of a dick move, really. Tommy Bridewell almost lost the rear there. Oh, my word. Yeah, I don't know why Irwin felt the need to do that. Yeah, 1 point if things stay as they are. Kyle Ryde will be the champion. Tommy Bridewell's now got a little bit of breathing space from Glenn Irwin behind him. He's going to have to set about getting the Yamaha, get that gap closed down. The thing is, with that Yamaha of Kyle Ryde, it's a little bit underpowered compared to that Honda. But when he's got this space, it means he can run the lines he wants, them sweeping lines, and that's where he'll get his lap time from. When he's having to battle with Tommy, if he's going to have to battle with Tommy Bridewell like he did in the second race, the lack of power is noticeable on that Yamaha. Bridewell's just put the fastest lap of the race in now. He's setting his sights on the rear tyre of Kyle Ryde. Lap 11 of 20. The gap is 0.76 of a second from Ryde in P1 and Tommy Bridewell in P2. It looks like Glenn Irwin now has decided, yeah, I'm not going to get involved. I've done the damage. If you're a Tommy Bridewell fan, that is. I mean, obviously, Glenn Irwin, he's riding for Ducati and he's riding for himself, but you don't want to be running into somebody who's racing for the title like he did. I can't be understanding that one. Tommy's definitely catching Kyle Ryde up, and Just trying to see if there's any move. There's a little bit more movement of Kyle Ryde when he's getting the power down there. I'm just wondering if he's giving that rear tyre a little bit of a tough time. Blimey, out of Sterling's, Tommy's closed that gap. He's closed that gap right up now. It's down to about 5 or 6 bike lengths from when it was 12, 14 bike lengths. Tommy spun the rear up there as they come onto clearways. But he kept that forward momentum, and he's right on the back of... he's just put a new lap record in, Tommy Bridewell, 124.759. And yeah, he's right on the rear wheel note of Kyle Ryde. He's took 6/10 out of him in the last 2 laps. Yeah, 1.4 seconds the gap now from Tommy Bridewell in second to Glenn Irwin in third. Ryan Vickers has just taken Max Cook. So it doesn't look like Ryan Vickers is going to get involved in this and act as a rear gunner for Kyle Ryde in any way, shape or form. And this is really what everybody wanted to see, let's be honest. You want to see the 2 title protagonists going hammer and tongs at the front. Whoever wins the race out of these 2 wins the championship. That's the way it should be. Tommy Bridewell takes the lead, gets under Kyle Ryde at Sterling's. Now he's powering out. Kyle's trying to go after him. But it looks like that Honda has got the... Well, we know it has. It's got a power advantage over that Yamaha. The Yamaha, though, does like a sweeping line, and that'll give him a lap time that he needs. Trouble is, Tommy keeps putting his bike in the way of Kyle Ryde, which... the downside is twofold. One, it means Kyle's got to keep giving it a handful, trying to keep up with Tommy Bridewell, which is putting wear on his back tyre. And his lap time is suffering because he can't run them sweeping lines that he needs. Tommy Hill there, looking a little bit despondent, if I'm honest. It's just as Tommy Bridewell, has he used any tyre up trying to have that little battle with Glenn Irwin and closing that gap to Kyle Ryde? We'll find out, because there's 7 laps to go. Soon to be 6. Neither of these riders can afford not to finish. But obviously, you need the victory, or you are going to be finishing first of the losers in second place in the championship. Which sounds harsh, but it's true. Nobody wants to finish in P2, do you? And as things stand now, it's Tommy Bridewell who will be keeping that P1 on his Honda. He'd win the championship by 9 points. Obviously, if Kyle Ryde can get back in front of Tommy Bridewell, he would be BSB champion for 2024, and he'd win the championship by 1 point. And you can throw a cigarette paper between these two. There's places where the Yamaha's quicker than the Honda, mainly in the sometimes under the brakes and through the sweeping corners, but then the Honda gets out of the corners better than the Yamaha. Staying line astern. Kyle Ryde is looking for a way past Tommy, but he's not going to do anything silly at the minute. And just to throw something else into the mix, what is the weather going to do? Let's hope there's no sudden downpour that makes it a farce of a race. We just want these two to duke it out, winner takes all, and that's what we're getting at the moment. Both garages are looking pensive, as you would expect. A lot of fingernails being bitten. Going through clearways now. We're on lap 15. They have literally, Ryan Vickers has now got into third place, but there's a 2.5 second gap. So he's not going to be getting involved in this battle at the front, that is for sure. Like I said, it's just the two title protagonists that are going to duke it out. Winner takes it all. Just do a top 10 for anyone who is interested. It's Bridewell at the front, Ryde in second, Vickers in third, Glenn Irwin fourth, Danny Kent in fifth. He's had a good meeting, Danny Kent. Taking his victory yesterday. Max Cook's in sixth. Brooks is in seventh. Kyle Ryde has just taken the lead. Oh, he's just taken the lead. Bridewell was trying to the switch back. He couldn't do it. Kyle Ryde was in his way. We're going into Sterling's now. Tommy Bridewell comes back underneath Kyle Ryde, takes that first position back. The driver of the Honda isn't going to allow Kyle Ryde to get back in front of Tommy Bridewell as we're going to be coming into clearways. Both of them sideways. Both of them got that torturing them rear tyres. But that's a fine example there of how the Honda can pull away under acceleration from the Yamaha. But as we're coming into Druids now, there's nothing between the Honda of Tommy Bridewell and the Yamaha of Kyle Ryde. It is going to be a ding-dong battle all the way to the checkered flag. Let's hope they both get there. Blimey O'Reilly Governor. Yeah, going back to the top 10, sorry. Josh Brooks was in 6th, Max Cook in 7th, Andy Irwin in 8th, Spud Nesbitt 9th. Ryde takes Bridewell into Hawthorns. But once again, Tommy Bridewell cuts back underneath Kyle Ryde, takes that P1 position. It's a case of rinse and repeat. As they go into Sheen, the right-hander at Sheen, nothing Kyle Ryde can do there. There literally is nothing between these two riders, and these two bikes are quicker. There's different attributes to these bikes. The Yamaha handles slightly better, looks a little bit more stable under braking, but then the Honda has got a little bit more punch off the corners and a little bit more top end. Lap 17, coming into Druids. Literally rear wheel to front wheel. Tommy Bridewell in front gets the drive. Kyle Ryde's there, stalking his prey. He's just trying to stay in the slipstream. Comes on the inside of Tommy Bridewell there through the left-hander. What's Tommy going to do there? Has he got the drive off the bend? He has got the drive off the bend. He's in Kyle's slipstream. Can't get past the Yamaha though. And as things stand now, Kyle Ryde is your BSB champion by 1 point. But this is going to change multiple times in the final 3 and a bit laps that we've got left. Tommy's looking like he's... Tommy comes under Kyle Ryde there on the left-hander. Bit of a block pass, but Tommy knows he needs to do that. He can't have Kyle Ryde being allowed to run the lines he wants to as we come into clearways again. Both sideways, both. They've got that. Yamaha and the Honda are literally screaming. The tyres are crying out for mercy. And they're not going to... The tyres aren't going to get mercy with 3 laps to go. Around Druids, Tommy Bridewell P1, Kyle Ryde P2. It's rinse and repeat. It's been like a continuation of the of race 2, the sprint race. Just these two in a class of their own, really. Ryan Vickers is still in third, 1.7 seconds behind his teammate, but he's not going to get involved in this. He'll just let these two lads duke it out. As I said, winner takes all. No prizes for second places, unfortunately. Kyle Ryde comes under Tommy Bridewell through the right-hander. Tommy tries a switch back, gets under Kyle Ryde. It's down to acceleration now. Tommy can't quite get the power down early enough, he's going to have to do him into Sterling's ear, is Tommy Bridewell, because he can't let Kyle Ryde. He can't get. There's too much of a gap through Sterling's. So Kyle Ryde's in P1 now. Tommy's flat chat, head down, trying to use the horsepower advantage of that Honda as they're going to turn right now into clearways. Kyle Ryde's still in P1 though. Tommy, he's got the rear end sliding out there. Can't do anything to Paddock Hill Bend, Tommy Bridewell. So his next attempt is going to be into Druids. Moves up on the inside of Kyle Ryde. Runs a little bit wide. Kyle cuts back underneath him. Tommy's got the rear end, nearly spits him out the seat there. Oh, Graham Hill Bend left. Into the left-hander, Graham Hill Bend. They're touching. They're running elbow to elbow. Tommy Bridewell's in P1. Kyle Ryde's shaking his head. He's in P2. 2 laps to go. This is what BSB racing and motorcycle racing is all about. No quarter asked for, no quarter given. Tommy Bridewell into Hawthorns. Goes a little bit defensive. Kyle Ryde had a look round the outside there. That's not going to happen. Literally, they're both squirming now, the rear tyres under acceleration. And it's Tommy Bridewell in P1. Kyle Ryde in P2. Winner takes it all. It's going to be a qualifying lap, isn't it? There's no point in holding anything back as we go into clearways. Tommy Bridewell starts the final lap in P1. Kyle Ryde in P2. Oh, Kyle Ryde was a little bit wide there. Takes a late apex though, and he's going to try and move up the inside of Tommy into Druids. Tommy covers the line there. He went slowly as he could around Druids there, did Tommy Bridewell, knowing that Kyle Ryde could do nothing about it. Then he squirts the Honda out of the corner, and he's trying to use that power in the best way he can. He's compromising his exits a little bit, Tommy Bridewell, but he knows he can use that Honda power over the Yamaha. Final lap. Kyle moves to the inside. Kyle Ryde. Does he run wide? Oh, Tommy nearly finds himself out of the seat under power there. Manages to hold it though. Comes back under Kyle Ryde. Runs a little bit wide. Kyle on the switchback. That's going to cost Tommy Bridewell this championship, I am sure, unless he can do something extraordinary on that Honda. Into Sterling's, he goes at a little bit defensive, Kyle Ryde. Tommy gets the power down. It's a drag race as they come into the right-hander before clearways. Kyle Ryde from Tommy Bridewell, both sideways. Literally, Tommy nearly fires himself out the seat. It's going to be Kyle Ryde, who's the British BSB champion for the first time in 2024. What a race! What a race that was! And kudos to both jockeys on them bikes. You will never get more commitment, you will never get more skill, bravery, call it whatever you want. We have just seen a fantastic race. Kyle Ryde, he's pulled up, the tears are flowing. Tommy Bridewell's there he's the first to congratulate him. And Kyle Ryde is BSB champion by 1 point. That is what racing, motorcycle racing is all about. There's some glum faces in the Honda garage. Let's be honest, I didn't expect that Honda to perform as well as it has done in the BSB season. He's worked miracles on it, Tommy Bridewell. Not that, Jeff Thomas. Thanks for streaming your commentary. Well done, Kyle and Tommy. Thanks for coming in the chat. Not that, Jeff Thomas. You're welcome, my friend. It's good to have you in the chat, by the way. If you were watching it, what an absolute final lap that was. It didn't disappoint. It did not disappoint at all. And that is why this BSB championship is it's so strong, isn't it? If you're going to win a championship, a BSB championship, you've got to be at the top of your game. And to make it even better, there's not all of this electronic aids, is there, that they've got in the World Superbikes and what have you. But well done to Kyle Ryde. Commiserations to Tommy Bridewell. Little bit disappointed that Glenn Irwin felt the need to be rubbing leathers with Tommy Bridewell. I don't know why he felt the need to do that, but you know, rubbing is racing, and the races at the end of the day, aren't they? Once that visor comes down, these guys just want to do the best they can. And in fairness to Glenn Irwin, he did have a look on his inside there to see if Tommy Bridewell was coming back on the inside of him once he'd taken him. And once he realised, I think he wasn't going to take the victory, whether he backed off or whether he didn't have the pace to go with these guys anyway, not too sure. I don't really care. We got the race that we wanted. What I didn't want was for one of these guys to crash out, or for there to be something like 2 laps to go and then you get a shower that makes an absolute farce of a race. And he literally is blubbing like a baby cow right there. And I don't blame you, mate. That outpouring of emotion, you can just see it on his face. Now he's giving it a double fist pump and a smile like he's going to sleep well tonight after he celebrates with that Yamaha team. That is for sure. Absolute class finish to a class motorcycle series. And let's be honest, the BSB racing, it's better than World Superbikes, I think. But the racing's far more competitive. And on any given day, pretty much any of them riders can win a race. Whereas with the World Superbikes, you pretty much know it's going to be a Bautista, a Razcat. Just watching, I don't really want to talk, I just want to watch Kyle Ryde celebrate. But he's got a drone following him around now. He's got the golden helmet on. He's got his new T-shirt, BSB champion. What must he be feeling now? Absolutely must be ecstatic. Kyle Ryde, 28 minutes, 37 seconds. Tommy Bridewell finished 0.296 of a second behind Kyle Ryde. And that 0.296 of a second was the difference between being BSB champion 2024 and not. And I think Tommy Bridewell, he's conducted himself this year. He's been fantastic on that Honda, and he knows he's not been able to go for that many victories, but he's had that consistency, which has allowed him to be in this position of finishing second. Just looking, Glenn Irwin did finish in third in the Superbike standings for the year. Danny Kent in fourth, Ryan Bickers in fifth. But yeah, Kyle Ryde wins the BSB 2024 championship by 1 point. Well done to Kyle Ryde. Well done to the complete field, really, because they've put on a fantastic show for all the British fans. And it's not just British fans, is it? BSB's well watched globally. There's Stuart Hicks. He'll be thrilled with what he's seen today. It puts BSB on the map, doesn't it? That is for sure. Right, I'm going to go and get ready for the Finland v England stream. It won't live up to this, that is for sure. That was some excitement. And no doubt this, if you haven't seen it already, it's probably going to be on, is it ITV4 that has it on a Monday or Tuesday night? Thoroughly recommend watching it. It was 2 riders at the peak of their game, just absolutely torturing the Honda and the Yamaha and the rear tyre. Well done to them guys. But I am Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live First. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell, and if you can give us a thumbs up, that's fantastic. If you're wondering what this is over here, that's me on my Triumph, and that is me at Portimao on my ZX10 2005. Seems a long time ago since that was happening. But yeah, it's better than just looking at a blank screen, isn't it? Right. We'll see you for the kick-off at 5 o'clock for England and Finland. Catch you later, guys. Thank you to Not That Jeff Thomas for commenting in the chat. You're more than welcome, my friend. Catch you later, guys.